HOK. Meanwhile, Navi and Team Liquid are out of active titles this week. They'll be watching from the sidelines. Gaming Gladiators were still active today, but they lost the grand final to Team Vitality in MLB BWI. Now, let's talk about game title participation. Team Falcons lead all clubs with 19 total eligible entries, having competed in 7 titles already. And with potential appearances in Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six and Crossfire still on the horizon. AGAL, Gen.G and Gaming also have...
Hello guys, assalamualaikum. Welcome back to my live stream, Matipur for Gaming channel. So guys, আজকে 2025 সিরিজ ওয়ার্ল্ড কাপ আজকে তো তোমার 20 তারিখ নাকি, তো ফাইনাল ম্যাচ অনুষ্ঠিত আর কি হতে যাচ্ছে। তো সকালে কি তা করা, লাইক এন্ড সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দিতে গিয়া, অবশ্যই লাইক এন্ড সাবস্ক্রাইব করো গাইজ। লাইভ স্ট্রিমে ঢুকা ওয়েট, আমি লাইভ স্ট্রিমটা শেয়ার করে দিই। ওকে, কোয়ালিটি কেমন?
And with potential appearances in Overwatch 2, Rainbow Six and Crossfire.
দেখিনি, বাট ক্লোজ রেঞ্জে স্ট্রিমার প্লেয়ার এই লেভেলে খেলেছে সেটা আই গেস আমরা খুবই কম দেখেছি আমাদের সাইড থেকে। বাট এইখানে ইডব্লিউসি তে স্ট্রিমার প্লেয়ার গুলো ক্লোজ রেঞ্জে খুবই দুর্দান্ত খেলা খেলছে। আজকের দিনে তোমার কি ফিল হচ্ছে? আজকের দিনে কোন প্লেয়ারটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে বেশি, কোন ধাঁচের প্লেয়ার গুলো হচ্ছে গিয়ে বেশি অ্যাগ্রেসিভ থাকবে? এটা কি স্নাইপার প্লেয়ার নাকি রাশার নাকি বোম্বার? হোয়াট ইউ থিংক?
প্রত্যেকটা রোল এই মুহূর্তে খুবই গুরুত্বপূর্ণ এন্ড আমার মনে হয় আমরা সে ব্যাপারে যাবো, বাট তার আগে আমরা পাওয়ার র্যাঙ্কিংটা এই মুহূর্তে একটু দেখে নিতে চাইবো, যেখানে বিভিন্ন ধরনের আসলে ভোটিং বলুন বা টিমদের প্রতি প্রেডিকশন বলুন না কেন, সেক্ষেত্রে বুড়িরামকে যদিও এগিয়ে রেখেছে রাজা, এন্ড সেক্ষেত্রে ফ্লুক্সো, এন্ড সেক্ষেত্রে থাকবে ফ্যালকন তার চয়েসে। এন্ড আমরা যদি ন্যাপচুনের কথা বলি, তিনি তার 3টি টিমকে তার চয়েসে রেখেছে। প্রথমেই ফ্যালকন, দেন লস, দেন ডিপোজ, এন্ড লিশনিস ভাই আমরা কিন্তু কিভাবে কথা বলছিলাম, স্পেশালি আমার প্রেডিকশনের সাথে কেন যেন মিলে যাচ্ছে অনেকটাই।
লেটস সি গেম কথা বলবে, গোলটু গেম কথা।
তো গাইজ, এখানে আমি 2 দিন লাইভ স্ট্রিম করছি না, তার একটা কারণ যে আর আজকে টিমও নাই, তত লাগি ফাইনাল লাইভ স্ট্রিমটা করলাম, লাউ লাইভ স্ট্রিমও করতাম না। মানে কালি অনেক যেন কইছে যে ফাইনাল লাইভ স্ট্রিমটা করো ইমাদ, যে তোমার ইউটিউব চ্যানেল দিয়ে লাইভ স্ট্রিমটা দেখতাম চাই আমরা, ও বিদায় আমি ফাইনাল লাইভ স্ট্রিম করলাম। ওকে, আর আজকে না বলতে ওটার লাগে আমি লাইভ স্ট্রিমও ঢুকলামও না, খেলাও দেখলাম না। ও যে 2 দিন ম্যাচ গেছে, আমি 1-0 খেলা দেখছি না, বুঝো নি গাইস? তো ফাইনাল ম্যাচ এ বিদায় আমি লাইভ স্ট্রিমও ঢুকছি, এ বিদায় আমি খেলা দেখলাম। ওকে,
স্টেট এক জিনিস আর হচ্ছে গিয়ে রিয়েল টাইম।
তো সে কোন টিম সাপোর্ট করে আমার কইল, বাংলাদেশ যদি থাকতো তো আমি অবশ্যই 100% বাংলাদেশ থাকলাম। মানে তো আমি বাংলাদেশ নাই বলতে, বাংলাদেশ ইনো টিমও নাই, তে আমি মানে তোমার ফেলকোরে সাপোর্ট করবো। ফেলকো
পারফরম্যান্স অন্য একটা জিনিস, এটা
ভাই টিমটাকে সেভাবে গুছিয়ে রাখতে হয়। লাইক আমি স্প্লিট সিনারিওতে ঠিক কিভাবে যাব, আমি কি রাশার গুলোকে একসাথে পাঠাবো এবং রাশারের সাথে আসলে স্নাইপারের যদি একত্রে কম্বিনেশন ক্রিয়েট করে, সেটা একেবারেই মনে হয় না খুব একটা ভালো হবে। ডিসটেন্স ক্রিয়েট করে রাখলে সেটা বেটার হবে। বাট রাইট নাও একটা জিআরএফ দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমরা অন ফায়ার। ও চমৎকার একটা টিম, আমরা ফ্যালকনের টিমকেও দেখতে পাচ্ছিলাম। পুরো প্লেয়ার গুলো তাদের অবস্থা থেকে যথেষ্ট
battlefield and claimed the booyah that echoed around the world. But in 2025, everything's changed. Team Falcons return to the EWC stage with only one piece of the original puzzle. On fire, the lone survivor of the championship squad, the last flame still burning. This year, Team Falcons rises with a brand new roster, new names, new chemistry, new doubts from everyone watching.
Can they do it again? Is On Fire enough?
Are they still the same threat?
চেয়ার আপ মুভমেন্ট চলছে এখনো। আই গেস আজকের দিনই লাস্ট চেয়ার আপ মুভমেন্ট হবে। দেন হচ্ছে যে টিমটা জিতবে তারাই সারা বছর চেয়ার আপ করবে, বাকিরা হচ্ছে কি একটু হতাশ থাকবে। এন্ড কোনো টিমে হতাশ হতে চাচ্ছে না গোলটু। আর এই কথা বলছিলাম, প্লিজ কন্টিনিউ, তুমি কিছু বলতে চাচ্ছিলে তখন।
হ্যাঁ, একদমই। এবং আমার মনে হয় যে ব্যাপারটা আসলে ইম্পর্টেন্ট এই মুহূর্তে, লাইক ধরেন একটা টিমে যখন একজন রাশার অথবা একজন স্নাইপার অ্যাথলেট একসাথে কম্বিনেশন বা স্প্লিট সিনারিওতে যায়, সেটা খুব একটা ইফেক্টিভ হয় না, আই ডোন্ট থিংক সো। বাট এই মুহূর্তে সেভাবে ভেবেচিন্তে আসলে স্প্লিট সিনারিওটা ক্রিয়েট করতে হবে। বাট রাইট নাও আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছিলাম টিমদেরকে, যেটা নিয়ে কথা বলছিলাম, যে টিমরা প্রবেশ করবেন ফাইটগুলোতে।
In terms of elimination, this is where loss really rise. I mean, they have made so much of presence in the battlefield, whatever map it is. And I think this is something that Team Falcons really need to watch out for. I think we also need another team. If they're looking to try to clip the wings of the Falcons, it's going to come at a huge sacrifice, right? Somebody needs to save the lobby, almost literally. RRQ did that yesterday on Point Rush. I don't think they're going to attempt that today.
Can you really afford to go for such a risky play, right? It's like you can't take the bullet for the whole lobby. You got to take it for yourself. So knowing that Falcons is potentially going to be a team that teams are going to be kind of focusing on, who does this open the door for? I think a team we've been mentioning quite a lot this weekend is Boyram. They've been trying to peel that target off their back. They're saying, guys, we're harmless at EWC. We are not a threat. But are there any other teams that are trying to maybe do this to try and, be the team that no one's kind of looking at? You want to be a dark horse.
I'm gonna say Movie Star R7. Yesterday's performance really shows you what this game is all about, right? Small adjustments really start to compound in interest as we go deeper and deeper into these games. And they've proven, yes, we can play in the first 3 maps and we can also play in the second half of the day. And it's an up and down performance depending on whether or not we fall for some professional player tricks. Another team is Core Memory. They took the top 3 in 9 of the matches. So I guess it's something that you need to look out for, and they showed us from Point Rush that they really have what it takes.
Well, I kind of agree with the R7 because, well, they don't look like scared of anyone. So I think they can apply a play style which is really aggressive. So I think they can go by their strategy,
All right, it looks like we're almost ready. Oh, actually, we've just been given the call. The opening ceremony is ready. Oh, actually,
এন্ট্রি এর গাইজ প্লেয়ার হল তোর
they came from all around. Hello, everyone. They came from all around the world.
Each match, each moment comes all to this. They were one step close to make history. And right now, it is this moment. The knockout stage pushed them. The point rush for sure challenged them. Now 12 teams fight for the ultimate prize. They have trained for this. They have dreamed about this. And right now, it's time to go big or go home. One title, one champion, and one legacy. Who's ready to compete to concrete and take the trophy home? I wanna know, do you know about this? So welcome to Free Fire Grand Finals at the Esports World Cup 2025. I'm Carol Bombshell and I invite all of you, and especially you, to make history together. Right now, let's meet our teams, starting with Red Dragons.
রেড ড্রাগন কইছে এই সময় মনে আছে রেড হক্স রেড হক্স
Oh, Gamers Club! Warrior United! Bad Gaming! Flipso! Lows!
ফ্লুক্স গাইস মিশন চেঞ্জ ফ্লুক্স
The one and only, the
Let's do
reigning
okay.
champions! Give it up for Team Falcons!
যারা মুসলমান আমি তাদের পক্ষে আমার ভালো লাগে না।
RRQ!
কয়টা ম্যাচ হবে এখানে জানি না কয়টা ম্যাচ হবে
Now it's time to introduce our top 3 finalists. Can they keep it up with their game? Can they set up with their game? Because right now we are talking about the grand finals. Let's figure out this right now because they are ready to take the stage. First, right now, give it up for Team Vitality! Evo! Movie Star R7! And finally, in the first place finisher, Core Memory! The teams are ready. The crowd are watching right now. And everything they have worked for comes down to this. No more warm-ups, no more second chance. It's time to drop in. It's time to fight for the trophy. This is Free Fire Grand Finals! Crazy, but we have finally reached to the grand finals.
This is the first time we're seeing in Free Fire history that nobody really knows who's going to be walking away with the championship.
ผมไม่ได้อยากปกป้องแชมป์ครับ ผมแค่อยากจะทำให้แรปนี้เป็นแรปที่ดีที่สุด
আগর রিপ্লে মোড দেখার আগে যারা জিতছিল তারা
Pokoknya gue bakal bikin kalian merinding lah di final nanti. Di tahun 2025 ini kita bisa jadi juara di EWC. ก็มาที่นี่เพราะอยากได้แชมป์อยู่แล้วเพราะเราจะทำให้เต็มที่เราแชมป์กลับประเทศไทย إن شاء الله إحنا نحن الفوكس
Levantaremos el trofeo.
A gente vai ganhar, a vitória é nossa.
It's kill or be killed.
And now General team is just so unrelenting.
The Falcons are just way too strong.
No incredible game coming from this team.
This is the way you get go if you want to lift the trophy.
Sirs, they're rallying and that's the Booyah.
There's no way Russell is taking out
Dominating. Really looking for lots of blood and incredible game coming from
Team Falcon destroyed. It's a finals day. Therefore, only one key can fit in that trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Habibis and survivors from all across the world, welcome to Free Fire at the Esports World Cup 2025. This is the grand finals, baby, and we are on champion rush. Potentially 10 matches ahead of all of us today. It could end as early as 4 as well. And nothing is granted. Everything is earned. It's your boys Mustachio and Husky back on the desk. Let's rock it, baby.
Let's rock one more grand final, second year in a row at the EWC 25 stage. And I gotta say, champion rush plus point rush was something that we did not expect, but I think we have accepted the fact that there is going to be a lot of surprises today, even coming in from yesterday. Core Memory Esports XKOG with a 10-point head start today. R7, movie star R7. There's a chance that Latam claims their first international trophy.
Oh, yeah.
But we cannot forget EVOS Divine, EVOS Esports in this case, they are back for blood.
Absolutely, man. The Wonder Kid Rasia today, the 20th of July, is exactly 1 month short of his 3-year anniversary with EVOS Esports. This is chess. EVOS Esports, they are the grand masters of Free Fire. They were planning this move 3 years ahead. This kid was acquired, this kid was trained, this kid was given everything possible to be the beast that he is right now. They acquired him at the age of 13. He's 16 this year, finally eligible to compete on the world stage, and he is rocking it. The MVP of MVPs, and he's got the cheekiest smile of them all up there. We saw Fluxo earlier farming a little bit of aura, but you know,
Metro
Edward
Vegas.
comes from Indonesia, and
Loving
who
what I
else
said.
that's going to be better to farm all of that aura than the Wonder Kid himself. But of course, you know, we talked a little bit about point rush. Yesterday, the 4 teams that walked away with the points are the teams that needed it the most. I would say EVOS is the one that leads it the least because they know how to score those big points. But it's all about the underdog. The big boys, they stepped aside yesterday.
They did. Brazilian teams, not part of the equation,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They finished bottom 6. Unfortunately, lost. Fluxo, Pain Gaming. I mean, Fluxo, we sort of saw it coming. They didn't really have the best knockout stage, but we were expecting Lost to really tear it up, and they could not do it. Vitality is the biggest underdog from the Indonesian region. If there's any team that you look at that you want to support who are not the Kings of Kings or the Tigers of Indonesia, Vitality is going to be your pick, but it's not going to be easy because for some of these players, it has been exactly 371 days since they were first on this stage.
Absolutely, and of course, EVOS at one point, they were the champions of the world. That was way back in 2019, right? But of course, 6 years later, can they get it done, or will it be a underdog squad out there, one of those that we least suspect to make that move? Dragon Esports, I did not expect to see them in Point Rush in the grand finals. I did not expect to see them do so well, but of course, we've actually got a interview here that we would like to throw you guys over to. Husky and I will be back with you in a second.
Hello, our survivors. I'm Yunso, and welcome to the grand finals today of Free Fire at AWC 25. Right next to me here is Six, and Koja comes from Team Vitality. Okay, so let's jump into a few questions, shall we? All right, everyone. So for Dix, yesterday you guys seems to be like having a little struggle in the power stage and only managed to get one booyah at the end of the match. So do you think that today you guys will having the same issues for today or no?
Oke, jadi pertanyaan pertama tentunya di sini buat tim Vitality kemarin sedikit mengalami kesulitan ya pada saat bermain di Point Rush dan kalian baru bisa mendapatkan buyah di map terakhir gitu. Kira-kira apakah kalian bakal mengalami kesulitan yang sama hari ini atau kalian sudah ada strategi tertentu buat di hari ini?
Kalau hari ini pastinya kita nggak bakal kesulitan karena di hari kemarin kita coba-coba buat war dulu setelah tahu gimana buat adaptasi pokoknya di meta 1 sampai 5 coba main Pais juga akhirnya bisa ngerti lah cara mainnya gimana.
I don't think we will have much trouble as yesterday because to be honest yesterday we also trying a lot of things and we are also trying to read a lot of the opponent team how they're gonna play. So I feel like we have a good strategy and a good mindset on how to play today.
So I think yesterday is just a test, right? Yeah. And today everything will go smooth. For second question, Koja, Team Vitality has been seen as one of the contenders for quite some time. What are you guys doing differently today to help you attain the championship?
Tentunya buat Bajak juga dan tim Vitality itu sebagai salah satu tim yang dianggap bisa menjadi juara di EWC tahun ini. Dan menurut kalian apa sih yang kalian lakukan secara berbeda dibanding dengan tim-tim lain dan juga cara kalian untuk bisa menjadi juara di tahun ini?
Yang pertama-tama kita pasti minta restu dulu ke orang tua buat kita juara, semoga didoain. Terus yang kedua palingan kita kompak lah buat tim mau susah mau senang jadi kita bareng-bareng juga.
I think what we're doing recently is that our teamwork. I think we have a better teamwork than everyone else, and we just in it together, whether it's a hard time or just like a struggling time. And the second thing is that we just want a blessing from our parents and our teams and our fans as well that we can actually win this.
Oh, that's very cute to listen to that. Alright, everyone, since today is our grand finals day, only one last day. Who will become the champion? Continue to cheer for your favorite team. Here with me are Vitalities, but you can always cheer for everyone. 12 teams right here at Free Fire EWC 25. See you guys later, and good luck to all of you guys today.
Once more, Team Vitality dubbed as a contender, but at the same time an underdog of their own region.
Oh yeah.
3 out of the 4 surviving teams from Indonesia who made it through knockouts, barring Onyx Esports. But on this grand stage, this is where they get put to the test. Even before they were Team Vitality, when they were still Bigatron Esports, they were known as the Falcon Slayers. But ever since they stepped into the Falcon's nest, that has not been the case.
Not been the case at all, but of course they have grown from just being the Falcon Slayers, the Falcon Hunters, to being the champs in their own accord. They have stepped up their gameplay, but can they take a trophy home to prove that they're true champions at the end of the day? Definitely one of the underdogs. They have got a little bit of extra confidence now since they were put onto a platform and raised up to the occasion. So I just want to see exactly what Vitality can do with this, right? They've got a few points here out of Point Rush as well. A little bit of head start does not hurt. It's just 3 points. The grand stage like this at the world stage, 3 points can mean the world sometimes.
And we have seen teams that started the grand finals without any head start points go on to win the whole thing. And in this case, with I noticed a bit of a pattern because a lot of times for the past 5 years when we go into a grand finals, the first thing we will talk about is always Buriram United Esports. but I think that team has slowly faded from the headlines of the conversation, and for good reason, right? Teams are catching up to BRU. They definitely aren't coming into this grand finals as strong as a lot of people would expect them to, and some of the people, the sentiments out there, would even go as far as to say that they don't think BRU is going to win it all.
Yeah, I most definitely would agree with them as well, right? Not just because they have not been showing up very strong, it's because of the other teams who are really calling them out on their plays. Some of the teams literally hunting down Buriram United Esports very early on in these games. But in the same category, we can love your two-time world champs, Fluxo. They are no longer looking like the most threatening squad out of Brazil. Lost out of nowhere. Don't seem very lost out there anymore. Granted, from their local region, Fluxo still are the top dogs out there, but Lost has been looking so clean with their gameplay here at the knockout stage.
Not only that, we also had that slight patch on the 1st of July. The Tatsuya nerf definitely brought in some impacts and affected some of the teams that wanted to be aggressive. I think BRU is a very good example, but this also showed us that this meta shift could potentially benefit the Indonesian teams who like to play slightly more strategic, more smart, who don't really care too much about being in the heat of battle every single second. Maybe that little blessing is what's gonna make the Indonesians feel a lot more relieved. But for Fluxo, for the longest of times, even behind the scenes before the knockout stage began, I talked about I didn't really like how slow they played. I feel like it's really hurting themselves more than it's benefiting them. We've seen that play out throughout the knockout stage. We've seen that play out into the point rush. Right now, they have a potential of 10 games to make it right, but I don't know if they can adapt to it.
And for the first time ever, we have got some representation here at the Grand Finals for Saudi Arabia. Dragons Esports, not the heaviest hitters out there, but shockingly accurate with their circle reads, getting into that final zone time and time again. They're one of the teams, in fact, they are the team with the most number of top threes, and that is absolutely unbelievable. Where they do lack though is those firepower, getting in those shots, pulling away the eliminations. But if they can repeat their circle hunting once again here today, I'm pretty sure a decent amount of this prize pool awaits them.
And it's a good time to also remind everyone, but for Dragon Esports, this is their very first international debut. None of these players have ever played on a stage such big, with stakes so high, and it just happens to be the Esports World Cup. The fact that they made it to top 12 with some help from Team Falcons, of course, in the final round of knockouts, is already mad impressive.
Oh yeah.
Do I expect them to win? No, of course not. But I expect them to continue showing us that genius, that brilliance of reading the circle and making smart rotation and taking fights only when needed.
I know, right? LATAM almost had another representative in Vision System, but of course we've got Tash Bunny and AdMats awaiting us. They've got a little bit of an update. Let's see exactly what they have to say. Hello survivors, welcome to Free Fire at Esports World Cup 2025 final stage.
And today we're in front of the contenders key wall where all of the team's keys are currently being displayed. And as you know, over at EWC, nothing is granted, everything is earned. And at EWC, no competition is as ruthless as this, and this includes the trophy system. Every team earns a key engraved their name, and that's their right to compete. The game trophy is not complete until it's sealed with the champion's key, and only one team can place their key into the trophy and become an EWC champion. Then, the frame of the champion's key is embedded into the totem, a symbol of legacy displaying every champion of the year.
The keys of the eliminated are crushed. The champion then selects 3 keys as a personal token, a reminder of those they have humbled. And a resin block beneath the totem holds those crushed keys, and the club championship trophy is awarded to the one club that rose above the rest and reigns supreme across all EWC games. Let's see who's gonna win today and be crowned champions for Free Fire at EWC 2025.
It's all for the marbles, ladies and gentlemen. We, once more, have a potential of 10 maximum rounds ahead of us. But if one team speedruns the finals, we could end in 4. But I personally prefer to have a long and eventful night. We've come this far. I don't want it to end in 4 rounds.
I don't know. I don't disagree with you, but at the same time, I don't, absolutely agree with you. And that's exactly what Champion Rush is all about. Who can rush to the championship as quickly as possible, be as accurate as possible, with their aim for the final circle as well as the Booyah when they truly need it. Because at the Southeast Asian finals, we saw Buriram unlocking the champion rush condition, 80 points, and then not being able to close the game. And a underdog squad from Indonesia went on to win the whole championship, and that is Onyx. And unfortunately, that luck didn't last very long. They didn't even make it past Point Rush to be here at the grand finals. But of course, as we kick off game number 1 out of potential 10 here, we start things off at Bermuda, and this map is usually conquered by the Southeast Asian squads.
First of all, we have to look at the drop spots. Nothing out of the ordinary so far, and it's been quite a while since we see the teams actually play give proper respect to one another.
Yeah.
No hot drop, no hunting. No R7 is not coming out with shenanigans and hot dropping Dragon Esport like they did in Point Rush. Peak taken by Buriram again. Fluxo getting Factory and then Pochinok, everything going as planned. AGAL having a long rotation potential again as Tosa. Some scuffles happening very early on. A bounty put out onto General from Lost, but so far no knocks yet.
Some say all roads lead to Rome, but I say at Bermuda, all zip lines lead you to Peak. And who says that Peak is Buriram? My goodness me, Lost finding an early one here onto RRQ. But we know the Indonesians are always cheeky, spreading out in the open, looking for a lot of loot very early on. And RRQ is actually one of the front runners of Bermuda. Finding a Booyah here shouldn't be a huge problem for them at the end of the day. As you can see, Dirt's already with the 800 coins in his hands, looking for 200 more at the cost of Hadral, who does manage to get away. And thankfully does manage to pick up a gun that can match up to what Duts is pulling in as well, that AUG should be able to reach him.
And we are also seeing signs of teams who want to get down and dirty early on. Rigby with another collection. That's point number 2 for Lost. And off screen, BRU actually put out a bounty onto Fluxo. We haven't seen it in a long, long time. It's an old rivalry reignited. It was buried for a good year and now it's resurfaced on the biggest stage in the world. But I don't think Fluxo cares too much about it. They love to play on the southern side of the map. First time we saw it was AJL this point the party. But right now, don't think that's going to be the case. Deuce goes down, point 3 for Lost.
Yeah, but that's classic Buriram.
হ্যাঁ 10টা কিল 4টা কিল 3টা কিল কেমনে গিতে
They get to track their movements across the battlefield. I highly doubt Fluxo is going to be playing any sort of tricks whatsoever.
যে টিম একবারে লাস্টে আছে ওদিকে ওর টিম একবারে ফার্স্টে বুঝতে
Don't have the maps in front of you. I believe Fluxo is playing a counter to this at this very point of time, allowing Chiu to hold back as the rest of them continue rotating in towards Mars Electric to look for more loot. This could just be the biggest surprise for Buriram, but I highly doubt Buriram went in there for the contract to play the Hunters. They just wanted to know if or not Fluxo was going to come in here to bum rush them and kick them out of Peak very early on. So Buriram can stay put for the time being, but they are not the only team that Buriram needs to worry about. Remember yesterday, R7 also came looking for them at Peak.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, right? R7 with a very ballsy move to go to Peak early and actually flushed out everyone else. But the occupants of this fishing hut, not so lucky, Lost once more continues their bout against RRQ. With Kyrita takes them back to Wahaone down and out. Easily collected by RRQ, getting a second elimination point. The rivalry continues between these two new-found fighters.
Yeah, and just like that, RRQ has made a full recovery already. With the P90, easy takedown for Maal. The question is obviously going to be whether or not Lost continues to fight for this, because we did spot Falcons over at Hangar earlier on as well. They could very well be the third party in this little scuffle between Lost and RRQ. And thankfully, Lost does not want any part of that as they quickly back away into Clock Tower to play a little bit of recovery.
Very bloody start. Team Vitality getting 5 eliminations. EVOS just picked up 2 members of R7 who got revived back onto the map. Then checking on Dragon Esports as well. Playing very, very safe, like we expected, right? This is a team that is, you can agree, I think everyone can agree, not the best in gunfight, not the best in mechanic, but one thing they're good at is beating the map. They know how to make rotation, and their survival instinct is second to none for a team that is on the world stage for the first time. I think it's worth highlighting every now and then. They are going to potentially be sandwiched by teams like Core Memory and Vitality, but for now they haven't made any presence just yet, unless Core Memory runs into them.
Yeah, when you're not the strongest fighter on the battlefield, the best thing thing that you can do is do your homework, find out where everybody else loves to play and where everybody else rotates through. And AGAL just found Peter rotating through their midst, and they did not think twice. Shot it down instantaneously. Question is, do they now go in for the hut? Noda staying silent. Cypher and 590 in hand. Noda spotted out. Plays the corner really well. Decent blue wall pulled up by Cypher. And a counter tag as well. Barros comes in here for the bait and switch. Going in for the shutdown. And Dew is there for the shots as well. The rest of the players from Pain, though, Motovia helping them out from afar very effectively with the VSK.
Has the air support, but unfortunately the numbers are dwindling for the side of Pain Gaming. Gus having to run away, so AGAL have an advantage. 3-2. Chinoy, Cypher, Barros all gunning for Gus, who is trying to turn the corner, puts up the blue wall on one end, but he's quickly running out of defensive resources, and finally AGAL catches up onto him. There's really nothing much that Motovia can do, and Pain Gaming forced to concede.
Very surprisingly slow shutdown from AGAL. Does not look like a prime squad at this point of time, which they'll have to worry about a little bit later on. Pain Gaming, on the other hand, has got more to worry about. Final player on the battlefield. And they will be the first team to get painfully taken out of the race here at the grand finals. But then again, Bermuda was never a map that belonged to the Brazilians.
Really stings, and it's also a pretty interesting result, right? We say that Bermuda is not a Brazilian team thing, but Raja on the panel pointed out that they're bigger fans of the classic map than they are of maps like Kalahari or Solara. And in this case, Pain Gaming just got off
in the local league.
In the local league, maybe. On the world stage. It is pretty tough. But AGAL, the fact that they ended up taking out Pain shows that they still are sticking to that late rotation on Bermuda. I think Pain Gaming probably didn't expect that to be the case coming into the grand finals and got punished.
Yeah, and AGAL is not the strongest squad out there that they need to worry about. So that's something that Pain Gaming needs to think about overall. But I do agree with you. They kind of got caught with their pants down. Unsuspecting move coming through and being caught off guard. Pain Gaming sacrificed very early on. Thankfully, this is a day where we could have potentially 10 games. Fingers crossed though, Pain Gaming has got the capability to pick up those points. Very crucial points in game number 2. And that is where they do shine. Purgatory is a place where Pain has showed up quite strongly in the past.
And I do wonder how this would affect the dynamics of teams like Fluxo, who always goes Mars Electric, because game 1, when they did it in the knockout stage, they ran into AGAL, and they were like, why are you guys here? This was not supposed to be the case. AGAL made a bit of diversion, Fluxo on the map, making their rotation, and now Lost and BRU fight head-to-head.
Yeah, big opportunity here for Lost to help out the whole lineup of the Brazilian teams to get rid of a heavy contender for the championship. Buriram looking for Lost very early on, accidentally, of course, as they try to reposition themselves in the heart of this next safe zone. And Buriram not going in for the chase shows you the intention of Buriram, not going for points, just purely going in here for the positioning for the next circle.
Same can be said for Lost, who actually makes a retreat, got scanned out by the Dinoculus. And there are two possibilities, either Buriram is tracking them or RRQ was thinking of making rotation. And even Lost themselves are using that Dinoculus to make sure that no one is near that northwestern part, so they could move outwards. And I think I like the elevation, but RRQ catches them! Mid-rotation, double rip Pyreeta even shot out as two bodies drop as the past catches up to the present. RRQ now looking to clean up Lost.
This one is done for. Rigby all alone. Can he get to the vending machine? Dude says, I'm gonna stop you, baby! Before he can get to the vending machine, up on top of the roof, straight in. The Oscar tried to save him, has got the charge buster, just not the gun for the but he still hits a beautiful headshot. But Rigby, so close yet so far. RRQ with the preemptive strike before those revivals could be brought in. The vending machine was right there.
The extended conflict finally comes to an end with RRQ being the victors. The rotation was correct from Lost, they just did it at the wrong time. They did not expect RRQ to be there. And RRQ, I'm convinced that that was their Dinoculus, taking out the whole team of Lost right before the move towards that silo. And with that, RRQ, they have 6 points and counting, full squad available, resources from the fallen members of Lost. They should be ready to take on Buriram if they show up at Bima Sakti Strip on the south side.
Binoculars and their big bright eyes, because all thanks to Buriram, they had lost on the back foot, looking for the high ground, and RRQ just happened to be there. How much luckier can you get, Indonesia? And RRQ settling the fight with loss so early on here. And look at Buriram. This is why they didn't want to go in there for the hunt. The read of the circle, once again perfect from this Thai squad. But now they'll have to deal with one of the deadliest predators out there, courtesy of Indonesia. RRQ Kazu on rotation. And now there's just a little bit of open land between these two titans.
Knowing RRQ, I think when they are on this high, when they feel like they have the momentum, RRQ is not going to shy away. In fact, they have completely done a 180 on how they used to play from the days of good old Sergeant Legolas, like to play slow and tactical. Right now, with Abai leading the charge, the prodigy turned captain, I think they're ready to really duke it out. But Dragon Esports, not so lucky, they ran into EVOS.
Yeah, man. I mean, this has to be a miracle here if Dragons can pull this off cleanly up against EVOS, but I highly doubt it. Now, one bright side is you don't have Rasya sitting down far away, aiming down at your head. He's the first one that gets tagged up. But you do have to fear the capability of AGOT in these close quarters combat with the M590 in his hands. Surprisingly, he was not going up here for an aggressive fight onto the top floor. They're just biding their time, waiting downstairs, wondering if or not Dragon's going to come knocking. Why? Because there's a vending machine here.
And it can be pretty risky to bomb rush the attic, right?
Yeah.
Close area, you saw the triple clue wall from Dragon Esports, like you call it, there's a vending machine downstairs. And we've seen if the circle moves away from a building with multiple levels, usually those at the ground floor can afford to wait. And in this case, EVOS, they don't mind waiting. There's no rush. In fact, they can just keep getting intel onto Dragon Esports every now and then.
Also, brilliant positioning coming through from Dragon Esports, and this is why they've been able to survive time and time again. Their rotations are always looking for that vending machine, and they have hit so many revives in the competition so far. I'm sure if we pulled up the numbers, we will see them as the champions of revivals. Of course, speaking of champions, your two-time world champs look so on standby here, ready to be the third party in a party they were not even invited to. The Dinocular is going to be scanning out 4 players. Unfortunate for them because they should have scanned a little bit towards the left. And once again, the read of the circle, perfection out of Buriram. They have not had to move for the past 2 circles.
Rainbow, well, R7, they actually flew into the edge of the circle. Someone scanned it out. I would like to bet it's either Vitality or Falcons. Someone's on top of the roof. Not really sure who can claim that, but EVOS ready to they move instantly forced away. The utility usage from Dragon Esports is on point. And the same also trying to RRQ out. Massive damage being dealt. The glue wall will be preemptively used as the fight between Dragon and EVOS now breaks out. Dragon Esports winning in terms of numbers. EVOS, you don't want to go down that early, but the numbers are definitely falling. Afford to play slow, but for Bookstone, they paid a high price. EVOS now fighting against Vitality, and EVOS completely outnumbered. Vitality, they just
সুন্নত মুআক্কাদা। গাইস আমরা আর টায়ার লইলাম, দেখি আমাদের গিল্ড ঢুকতে পারে কি না। প্রথম ম্যাচ বারমুডা, যা যেটা ডায়লগ সেটা ডায়লগ মারতে হবে না। ভালো লাগছে।
First blood.
Good job. Good job. Thanks.
আমার একটু লেগোর ওখানে একটু স্পেস করা লাগে আজকে দিনটা গাইস, এখানে জানি না আজকে দিনটা একটু বেশি লাগছে। আমার ফোন তো একটু লো বাজেট নেই, প্লাস তোমার র্যাম রম প্রসেসর একটু আর কি লো, এত বেশি লো না, বাট মোটামুটি একবারে লো আর কি। আরে বেটা কিল টিল দে বেটা, একটু কিল টিল করি বেটা, প্রথম ম্যাচ খেলতেছি বেটা, কিল টিল দে একটু, ম্যাচটা কিল টিল করে বোর্ডিং করি বেটা। ও ট্রাইড লইলাম, যদি আমরা স্কোয়াডে ঢুকতে পারো তাইটাই পারবাই, আর যদি ঢুকতে পারো না চাকাশ ভরা তারা বললে আরো প্র্যাকটিস করতে হইব। যদি যোগ্যতা অর্জন করিলে আমরা স্কোয়াডে ঢুকার তো অবশ্যই ঢুকবা, যদি যোগ্যতা না থাকে তার ঢুকার খাপ নাই। যোগ্যতা থাকতে হইব ঢুকার, যোগ্যতা না থাকলে কোনো জিনিস পারা যায় না। কেটা বেড়া এগুলো মারবার উড়বা যায় না, ধর মিজাজটা গরম করে না, দেখো গ্রেনেডটা যেখানে লইলাম মারবার যেতে জয় বাংলা, জয় 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 বই, জয় ফ্রি ফায়ার। আমার এখানে কোনো নির্বাচন চলবে না। Who's the player? Allah Allah নে কি দিল, ফোন স্টার্ট দিয়ে দিল। জয় বাংলা, জয় ফ্রি ফায়ার গেম ওয়ার্ল্ডেস্ট। জয় শেখ হাসিনা, আল্লাহু আকবার আল্লাহু আকবার আল্লাহু আকবার। শেখ হাসিনা খায় খুব শেখ হাসিনা বইব না, রাইট আছে দিন আছে সব আছে। ওই সাইডে যাও, ওই সাইডে যাও, তুমি ওই সাইডে আসো, তুমি ওই সাইডে আসো। এই সাইডে আসো, এই সাইডে আসো। হ্যালো মারুফ, মারুফ তুমি আমার সাইডে আসো, মারুফ তুমি আমার সাইডে আসো। আরে পুলাটা বুঝে না রে। ওয়েট গাইস, আরে বেটা বুঝে না। আরে বুকা চুদার বাচ্চা, আল্লাহ। মারুফ তুমি আমার সাইডে আসো, মারুফ, মারুফ হ্যালো। হ্যাঁ, টুর্নামেন্টে গেটের লাগাও সবাই। তুমি আমাদের টিমে কইছিলে না ঢুকটা, এই জন্য তুমি তোমার ট্রাইড নিতেছি। আর হ্যালো 69 হ্যালো। ফার্স্ট রাশার বর্ডার বাচ্চা, বর্ডার করে একটা কথা কয় না মাথার চোখ।
Head to the safe zone.
আরে প্লেটটা কই? डैमेज कैलो ना होता है। कैसे 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 ওর মায়েরে বাপ একবারে পুটকি চুটকি চুড়িয়ে লাল করে দিল কিছু কইছে নি আম্মা পুটকি চুটকি একবার চুড়িয়ে লাল করে দিব কোনো কথা না नाम है प्रो प्लेयर हमके जैसा कोई प्रो नहीं तो ये बात समझ में ना मेरे भाई हाँ যে বডি শট মার ভাই ই না তোমার হেডশটও মারা লাগবে ও কারণ টুর্নামেন্টে তাহলে বডি শট মারলেই তো না তোমার সব দিকে মারা লাগবে তোমার কম্বলও মারা লাগবো আন্ডার বিয়ারও মারা লাগবো চুলো মারা লাগবো মুখও মারা লাগবো শার্টও মারা লাগবো হাতও মারা লাগবো পাও মারা লাগবো আর তোমার বিভিন্ন জায়গার মাঝে মারতে তুমি খালি ইবাই দিয়ে মারবা ই না বুঝছো নি তুমি হবাই দিয়ে মারতো এবার তো একটু বুঝে শুন না ভাই টুর্নামেন্টে যালি বডির মাঝে মার ভাই ই নাই মাথার মাঝে মারা লাগবো আন্ডার বিয়ারও মারা লাগবো মানে সাইডের দিকে মারা লাগবো ইস 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 আমার ইয়াটা ড্রেক হয়ে গেছে আমার গ্রেনেডটা রে ও এটা ব্লিং মারি দেবো না ওটাও তো উঠছে না ভাই আয় রে ভাই আয় নিচে আয় ভালো উঠি দিলাম গিয়ে উঠবে ওরা কোন ভাই দিবে উপরে নিয়ে কইবে এ হে বুদ্ধি ভালো আছে রে স্ট্র্যাটেজি ভালো আছে স্ট্র্যাটেজি মারি দে নাইস নাইস ওয়ান শট বেশি মুভমেন্ট দেখাইলে রে বলতে কোথায় যা মুভমেন্ট দেখাইলে হয় আর কি দুইটা ম্যাচ বার করছে আমি একলা এবার আমি চা খাইছে धूला बाला सीधा सादा तमे ओ मेरी माँ गाइस लाइव में जा जानो तो तारा सबाई चैनलটা সাবস্ক্রাইব করে দাও এন্ড স্ক্রিনের উপর ডাবল ট্যাপ করে লাইক করে দাও চব্বিশ তারিখ গাইস একটা টুর্নামেন্ট আছে अरे शेयर 24 तारीख गाइस একটা টুর্নামেন্ট আছে তো সকলের দোয়া হইলো যে টুর্নামেন্টে ভালো কিছু করতে পারি প্রাইজ পুল বেশি নাই প্রাইজ পুল তোমারে ইয়া টুর্নামেন্ট জিতলে কই মারলে কইতাম না হ্যাঁ এর আগে প্রাইজ পুল রিভিল কইরা কোনো ফায়দা না ওকে ডিজিটাল প্রাইস পুলটা রিভিল করবো এটা কেটা ডিজিটাল প্রাইস পুলটা রিভিল করবো গাইজ ওকে ইউ অল পিপল আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড আমারে মারি দিলে বুঝছো তুমি ম্যাচ নিবাই কি ইস অত ম্যাচ বাড়ে গেছে হায় হায় ওয়ান টেপ মাইরে দিছে ওরে মাইয়া কোথা দেখলিও ওরে দেলারা চিনি সারা দেলারা চিনি সারা জায়গায় কিতা বই দিছে শিপু 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 শিপু
এত কষ্ট মাত্র 2 জন খলিফা what the what the what the this man